I mean, maybe I'll start on the positive note, which is that EMX China has been, moving away from China, let's say rebalancing away from China. So you've seen decent performance in other parts of EM. But to cut to the matter, I mean, China is clearly front and center. I mean, the way I look at it is probably a little bit more from a foreigner's perspective, where at the end of the day, investors don't like uncertainty. And there's a lot of, let's say, political or policy uncertainty, on both sides of the globe, frankly. And until we get clarity around whether it's regulation or U.S.-China relations, I think it's tough to see the foreign bid come back.
Yeah, and obviously they've, they fired up their plunge protection team again. You've got a lot of state funds buying to try and support the market. What seems to be happening is, though, most of that money is going into big state-owned companies, and the smaller companies, including the private ones, they're not getting any love at all. I mean, it may help to put a bottom under the market, but I'm not sure this is what we really want to see. Do you?
Yeah, so it's an interesting, thesis or comment that you bring up. One, you use the word, state-owned. I mean, clearly, look, there's a big divide between large and small cap. I mean, that's pretty apparent in performance. Small cap stocks in China are down, let's say, 20% or so on the year. But what I find interesting about it is kind of two points. Number one is I think there were some bulls coming into the year on China who had the view that some, clear state support or, turning of sentiment would really be the catalyst to drive the market higher. That doesn't seem to really be, working so far. And I would really point to fundamentals. I mean, MSCI China EPS or earnings per share were down 10% 2 years ago, or 0%, last year on an NTM basis. And until you really see fundamentals improving, I think it's hard to see the market go higher. But the one point I'd make in addition to that is MSCI China, the broad market that most foreigners, look at, the valuation today is priced like an entire SOE, an entire state-owned enterprise, if you look at state-owned enterprises outside of China. And that's a very interesting dynamic. Again, that's a low valuation, but it's basically foreigners telling you they view the market as perhaps similar to an SOE in other jurisdictions.